Hello and welcome to the final episode of Maryland, Delaware, DC Press Association's 2021 contest. I'm excited to report that we will be announcing the winners for news and beat reporting. The High School Journalist of the Year Award will release our Best Moves winner that you, our audience, has chosen. And finally, we'll cap it all off by announcing the News Organizations of the Year. Let's get started. I'd like to recognize our sponsors, Local IQ, FCM Solutions, Ask CRM, and MDDC Ad Services. Thank you so much for your generous support. Our first section is News and Beat Reporting. Our first category is Breaking News. In Division O, the winners are Fern Shen of Baltimore Brew in second place, and Steve Bonnell, Caitlin Peets, and Dan Shear of Bethesda Beat place first. In Division F, Joanna Sullivan of the Baltimore Business Journal wins second prize, and her colleague Holden Weiland wins first. In Division E, Jesse Berman of the Baltimore Jewish Time wins second prize, and Lisa Capitelli of Ocean City Today wins first. In Division C, Mark Harris, Alex Reichwalski, and Steve Bittner wins second prize for the Cumberland Times, and Natalie Jones of the Star Democrat wins first. In Division B, Lily Price and Rose Wagner of the Capitol win second prize, and the staff of the Capitol win first. In Division A, Christine Condon of the Baltimore Sun wins second prize, and Tim Prudenti, then writing for the Baltimore Sun, wins first. And the best of show for breaking news goes to Steve Bonnell, Caitlin Peets, and Dan Shear of Bethesda Beat for After Fatal Flooding, some say apartment complexes were aware of problem. Our next category is General News Story. In Division S, Jacob Baumgart wins first prize. In Division O, Tony Cabral wins second prize for the Capitol News Service, and Dan Shear wins first with Bethesda Beat. In Division F, Juliana Seeley of the Seaford Star wins second prize, and Carly Milligan of the Baltimore Business Journal wins first. In Division E, Caleb Soptaline wins second prize with Southern Maryland News, and Lexi Gopin wins first for the Washington Jewish Week. In Division D, Chris Gunty of the Catholic Review wins second prize, and James Whitlow of the Aegis wins first. In Division C, Natalie Jones wins second prize for the Star Democrat, and Craig Anderson of Delaware State News wins first. In Division B, Lily Price and Danielle Ohl of the Capitol win second prize, and Sherry Greenfield of the Herald Mail wins first. In Division A, Taylor DeVille of the Baltimore Sun wins second prize, and Tim Prudenti, her colleague, wins first. Congratulations. And best of show for General News Story goes to Sherry Greenfield of the Herald Mail for Her Son Took His Own Life, Now a Hagerstown Mom Opens Up About Teen Suicide. Our next category is Continuing Coverage. In Division O, the winners are Caitlin Peets, Brianna Adkisuma, Steve Bonnell, and Dan Shear of Bethesda Beat in second place, and Brian Renbaum, Charlie Hayward, and Tim Meyer of Maryland Reporter in first. In Division F, Amanda Yeager wins second prize for the Baltimore Business Journal, and her colleague Holden Weiland wins first. In Division E, Melissa Steele of Cape Gazette wins second prize, and Jack Chavez of Ocean City Today wins first. In Division D, Priscilla Gonzalez de Duran and the staff of the Catholic Review win second prize, and Timothy Wheeler of Bay Journal wins first. In Division C, Glenn Rolfe of Delaware State News wins second prize, and Natalie Jones of the Star Democrat wins first. In Division B, Jillian Atzelek of the Frederick News Post wins second prize, and Brooks DeBose of the Capitol wins first. In Division A, Justin Fenton of the Baltimore Sun wins second prize, and the news staff of the Sun wins first. And Best of Show for continuing coverage goes to Tim Wheeler of the Bay Journal for Forever Chemicals. Congratulations, Tim. Investigative reporting is our next category. In Division O, the winners are Jeffrey Anderson of District Dig in second place, and Mark Reuter, Fern Shen, and David Plimmer of the Baltimore Brew win first. In Division F, Holden Weiland, Matt Kish, and Eric Jackson of the Baltimore Business Journal win first prize. In Division C, Rose Velasquez and Matthew Prensky of the Daily Times wins second prize, and Christian Jamie of the Daily Times wins first. In Division B, Ryan Marshall and Steve Bonnell of the Frederick News Post win second prize, and Tamala Baker and Alexis Fitzpatrick of the Herald Mail win first. In Division A, Justin Fenton of the Baltimore Sun wins second prize, and Amanda Fries of the News Journal wins first. And Best of Show for investigative reporting goes to Mark Reuter, Fern Shen, and David Plimmer of the Baltimore Brew for Marilyn Mosby's Finances and Personal Businesses. Congratulations. I'd like to take a break from our beat categories and talk about the High School Journalist of the Year Award. A panel of MDDC editors and reporters, including Angie Price of the Bay Times, Jonathan Carter, regional editor for APG, and Denise Riley, editor emeritus of the Star Democrat, reviewed applications for this prestigious $1,500 cash award. Students were asked to submit an autobiographical statement about journalism, a letter of recommendation from their journalism teacher or advisor, as well as 5 published articles demonstrating their versatility and skill. We had 3 strong nominations in this year's cohort. Our nominees were Marika Friedman of Montgomery Blair High School, Karina Serio of the Tome School, and Tiffany Smith of the Homewood Center. And the winner is Marika Friedman of Montgomery Blair High School. Marika is already showing signs of becoming a leader in her field. Her advisor, Jeremy Stelzner, noted she has a commitment to excellence that is rare in a high school student. Over the course of the last year, she has been able to manage a staff through a pandemic, diversify the voice of the paper, while at the same time helping to put together a final product that will be recognized by the Columbia Scholastic Press Association this spring as being one of the best in the country. Marika is currently the editor-in-chief of her school newspaper, Silver Chips, and plans to major in journalism so that she can pursue her passion for covering politics, education, and sports. Congratulations, Marika. And now let's get back to our reporting categories. Our next category is local government. In Division O, Mark Reuter, Ann Constantino, and David Plimmer of the Baltimore Brew win second prize, and their colleagues, this time again with David, adding Fern Shen in the mix, wins first. In Division F, Katie Tabling of the Delaware Business Times wins second prize, and Mike Detmer wins first for the Dorchester Star. In Division E, Greg Bassett of Salisbury Independent wins second place, And Katie Jones of Howard County Times wins first. In Division D, Katie Jones, this time writing for the Laurel Leader, wins first prize. In Division C, Madison Bateman of Carroll County Times sweeps the category, winning both first and second prize. In Division B, Brooks DeBose of the Capitol wins first. And in Division A, Amanda Fries of the News Journal wins second prize, and Taylor DeVille of the Baltimore Sun wins first. And Best of Show for Local Government goes to Taylor DeVille, then writing for the Baltimore Sun. For Baltimore County's crisis teams can't respond to more than half of calls for people in distress, leaving job to patrol officers. Congratulations, Taylor. Our next category is state government. In Division O, the winner is Callan Tansel Suddath of the Capitol News Service in second place, and her colleague Tom Hindle in first. In Division F, Joanna Sullivan of the Baltimore Business Journal wins second prize, and her colleague Holden Weiland wins first. In Division E, Daryl Kinsey Jr. of Southern Maryland News wins second prize, and William Ford of the Washington Informer wins first. In Division D, Jeremy Cox and Tim Wheeler of Bay Journal win first prize. In Division C, Brian Sears sweeps the category for the Daily Record, winning both first and second prize. In Division B, Jack Hogan from the Frederick News Post wins second prize, and Tamala Baker of the Herald Mail wins first. In Division A, Meredith Newman and Jared Whalen of the News Journal win second place, and Scott Dance of the Baltimore Sun wins first. And Best of Show for state government goes to Jeremy Cox and Timothy Wheeler of Bay Journal for $13 million wastewater grant to private company spurs debate in Maryland. Congratulations. Our next category is public service. In Division S, Miranda Spivak, Robert Saladay, Nathaniel Levine, Leslie Sterling, and Scott Labar win first prize. In Division O, Caitlin Mays and Zach Hill win second place for the Baynet, and Marcus Ditterly wins first for Baltimore Fishbowl. In Division F, Mylika Scatliff of the Afro wins second prize, and Mike McClure of Laurel Star wins first. In Division E, Greg Bassett of the Salisbury Independent wins second place, and Carolyn Proctor of the Washington Business Journal wins first. In Division C, Teresa McMinn of Cumberland Times wins second prize, and Kelly Powers of the Daily Times places first. In Division B, Lily Price of the Capitol wins first prize. And in Division A, Isabel Hughes and Emily Lytle of the News Journal wins second prize, and the news staff of the Baltimore Sun wins first. And Best of Show for public service goes to the news staff of the Baltimore Sun for vaccine equity. Congratulations. We now come to our wild card category. This is a category that changes each year to reflect the topical trends and issues in our region. This year, our editorial committee chose coronavirus in communities as the theme. Let's meet the winners. In Division O, the winners are Adam DeRose of the Baltimore Fishbowl, placing second, and Brenda Winterroad from Maryland Matters, placing first. In Division F, the winners are Josh Shannon from the Newark Post in second place, and Katie Tabling of the Delaware Business Times in first. In Division E, William Ford of the Washington Informer places second, and George Berkheimer of Business Monthly places first. In Division D, Jean Marbella and Jason Fontelue placed second for the Aegis, and Kevin Parks, Chris Gunty, Paul McMullen, and George P. Matzik Jr. of the Catholic Review placed first. In Division C, Johanna Alonso of the Daily Record places second, and Kelly Powers of the Daily Times places first. In Division B, Brooks DeBose of the Capitol wins second place, and Greg Swadek of the Frederick News Post wins first prize. In Division A, Hallie Miller, Meredith Cohn, and Lizzie Lawrence place second for the Baltimore Sun, and Brandon Holbeck, Meredith Newman, and Jared Whalen win first prize for the News Journal. And Best of Show goes to Kevin J. Parks, Chris Gunty, Paul McMullen, George P. Matzik Jr. of the Catholic Review for The Catholic Community Responds to Pandemic. Congratulations. Our next category is news-driven multimedia storytelling. In Division O, the winners are Devin Miley and Clara Neal of Capital News Service in second place, and Kelly Livingston and Madison Peak, also of Capital News Service, in first. In Division E, Nick Roth and Chris Flood of Cape Gazette win first prize. In Division C, John Smith, Shane Riggs, Teresa McMinn, Jeffrey Alderton, and Marissa Hammond of Cumberland Times place first. And in Division A, McKenna Oxenden and Jerry Jackson of the Baltimore Sun win second place, and the news staff of the Sun win first. And Best of Show goes to Kelly Livingston and Madison Peak of Capital News Service for two narratives, how a 1919 massacre tore Elaine, Arkansas apart. Congratulations. We now come to our Courage in Journalism Award. A free press cannot be swept aside or silenced. This award honors acts of courage in journalism and strength in adversity while uncovering truth. The Courage in Journalism Award was established in memory of those killed at the Capital Gazette in Annapolis in 2018 and in honor of those who survived. Nominations include examples of the work, as well as a summary letter describing the situation, the adversity faced, and the actions taken by a journalist or news company to push forward, and the effect the work had. The entries were judged by MDDC Press Foundation board members. This year, there were two strong nominations showing strength and courage. Our nominees are Alex Mann, Brandy Bodalico, and Lily Price of the Baltimore Sun for coverage of the trial and sentencing of the gunman in the Capitol shooting, and the staff of the Capital News Service for a database and coverage of white-owned newspapers' racist past. The Baltimore Sun nominated these reporters because courage describes perfectly the effort of those who wrote and edited the personally emotional and heartbreaking articles about the jury trial and sentencing that found the gunman criminally responsible for the June 28, 2018 attack on the Capital Gazette newsroom. Capitol staff members Gerald Fishman, Rob Hyacin, John McNamara, Rebecca Smith, and Wendy Winters lost their lives in that attack. Unlike most murder trials, the reporters and editor who led the coverage of the trial and sentencing of the shooter were not strangers to the victims and survivors of June 28, 2018, the deadliest attack on American journalism, writes Trifalatsis, publisher and editor-in-chief, and Sam Davis, managing editor in their nomination letter. They go on to write that lead reporter Alex Mann lost his mentors that day. He had worked at the Capitol as an intern during the summer of 2017, being guided by those who were killed as well as some of the survivors. Capitol editor Brandy Bottalico also worked with the victims as a reporter for the Capitol and Maryland Gazette from 2014 to 2016. And reporter Lily Price, who joined the Capitol in 2019, worked alongside survivors of the shooting. Bottalico, Mann, and Price never wavered in their commitment to honor their fallen colleagues by using the skills they were taught by those who were lost. Their mission was to carry on in the spirit of the defiant tweet posted by then Capitol reporter Chase Cook on the day of the shooting. "We are putting out a damn paper." The staff of the Capitol News Service were inspired by Deneen Brown's reporting on white-owned newspapers' role in race violence. And the Howard Center for Investigative Journalism decided to examine the phenomenon at scale. The end result, in addition to more than 40 stories, is a national database that, for the first time, allows journalists and readers to easily explore the racist past of white-owned American newspapers. Data journalism students at the University of Maryland's Philip Merrill College of Journalism started with 2 academic databases that contain about 4,500 lynchings across the US, including the name of each victim, approximate date of each lynching, and the county or state where each occurred. To identify newspapers, the students used the Library of Congress's application programming interface to access a data set on more than 150,000 historical and current newspaper titles. They then built a web scraper to harvest historical lineage information about each newspaper, creating a family tree linking historic newspapers to their successors today. Kathy Best, director of the Howard Center for Investigative Journalism, writes, "The database, which the Howard Center will continue to add to, means modern-day publishers no longer can say, 'We didn't know,' and can, if they wish, initiate conversations with their communities about the past and future." And the winner of the Courage in Journalism Award is the staff of the Capitol News Service for their database and coverage of white-owned newspapers' racist past. The judges were blown away by the amount of data work this nomination represented. They called the data work with the Library of Congress amazing, and the judges also recognized that the visual presentation was outstanding. Design was fabulous and sustains the reader, they mentioned. So congratulations to the Capitol News Service for their work on printing hate. Our next category is business reporting. In Division O, the winners are Willinda West of Baltimore Fishbowl in second place and Brittany Gaddy of Capitol News Service in first. In Division F, Holden Weiland of Baltimore Business Journal wins second prize and Jacob Owens of the Delaware Business Times wins first. In Division E, George Berkheimer of the Business Monthly wins second prize, and Susan Kim, his colleague, wins first. In Division D, Katie Jones of the Aegis wins first prize. And in Division C, Logan Anderson of Delaware State News wins second, and Kelly Powers of the Daily Times wins first. In Division B, Jack Hogan of Frederick News Post wins second prize, and Angela Roberts, his colleague, wins first. In Division A, Amanda Fries of the News Journal wins second prize, and Christina Tasic of the Baltimore Sun wins first. And Best of Show for Business Reporting goes to Angela Roberts of the Frederick News Post for a gorgeous day. In operation since 1994, Jumbo's Pumpkin Patch in Middletown remains a family affair. Congratulations. I'd like to take a moment to recognize our top sponsor, Local IQ. Local IQ is the marketing solutions division of the USA Today network. They offer unmatched reach and unparalleled access to engaged audiences nationally and in local communities across the country. With this scale and experience across local markets, they know what works for healthcare, education, financial services, home services, and more. They bring together marketing technology and performance insights to help local businesses win with marketing solutions that work. In addition, Local IQ is a proud and longtime supporter of the MDDC Press Association and MDDC Ad Services. Thank you so much for your support. Our next category is medical or science reporting. In Division O, the winners are Hannah Gaskell of Maryland Matters in second place and Fern Shen of Baltimore Brew in first. In Division F, Katie Tabling of Delaware Business Times wins second prize and Logan Williamson of the Avenue News wins first. In Division E, Jan Lee of Baltimore Jewish Times wins second place and Carton Cordell of Washington Business Journal wins first. In Division D, Tim Swift of the Catholic Review wins first place. In Division C, Teresa McMinn of Cumberland Times wins second prize and Maddie Aiken of the Daily Times wins first. In Division B, Jillian Atzelek of the Frederick News Post wins second prize and Lily Price of the Capitol wins first. In Division A, Holly Miller of the Baltimore Sun wins second prize and Meredith Cohn, her colleague, wins first. And Best of Show for medical or science reporting goes to Lily Price of the Capitol for Anne Arundel Medical Center experiences spike in children with respiratory syncytial virus mirroring nationwide trend. Our next category is education reporting. In Division O, the winners are Caitlin Peets of Bethesda Beat in second place and Fern Shen of Baltimore Brew in first place. In Division F, Mike McClure of the Seaford Star wins second and Matt Hook of the Newark Post wins first. In Division E, Sam Collins of the Washington Informer wins second prize and George Berkheimer of Business Monthly wins first. In Division D, Kevin J. Parks, Archbishop William E. Laurie, and Christopher Gunty of the Catholic Review win second prize, and their colleague, Paul McMullen, wins first. In Division C, Kristen Griffith, writing for the Carroll County Times, wins second prize, and Natalie Jones of the Star Democrat wins first. In Division B, Jillian Atzelek of the Frederick News Post wins second prize, and Sherry Greenfield of the Herald Mail wins first. In Division A, Liz Bowie of the Baltimore Sun wins second prize, and Natalie Alamadari of the News Journal wins first. And Best of Show for education reporting goes to George Berkheimer of Business Monthly for expanding autism horizons. Congratulations, George. Our next category is environmental reporting. In Division O, the winners are Josh Kurtz of Maryland Matters in second place and Mark Reuter of Baltimore Brew in first. In Division F, Tony Windsor of the Laurel Star wins second prize and Natalie Jones of the Dorchester Star wins first. In Division E, Mike Smith of Coastal Point wins second prize and George Berkheimer of Business Monthly wins first. In Division D, Carl Blankenship of the Bay Journal sweeps the category, winning both first and second prize. In Division C, Christian Jamie of the Daily Times wins second prize and first, sweeping the category. In Division B, Rachel Picella of the Capitol wins first prize. In Division A, the winners are Christine Condon of the Baltimore Sun in second place and her colleague Scott Dance in first. And the Best of Show for environmental reporting goes to Carl Blankenship of Bay Journal for Eels in the Susquehanna, a surprising success story. Congratulations, Carl. Our next category is arts or entertainment reporting. In Division S, Jacob Baumgart wins first prize. In Division O, Rudy Malcolm of Baltimore Fishbowl wins first prize, and Marcus Dieterle, his colleague, wins first. In Division F, Amanda Yeager of Baltimore Business Journal wins second prize, and Nadine Matthews of the Afro wins first. In Division E, Mark Smith of Business Monthly wins second prize, and Ben Kahn of Washington Jewish Week wins first. In Division D, George P. Matzik Jr. of the Catholic Review places second, and his colleague Matthew Liptak places first. In Division C, Katie Jones of Carroll County Times wins second, and Maddie Aiken of the Daily Times wins first. In Division B, Angela Roberts wins first prize for the Frederick News Post. In Division A, Mary Carol McCauley of the Baltimore Sun wins second prize, and Stephanie Garcia of the Baltimore Sun wins first. And Best of Show for arts or entertainment reporting goes to Stephanie Garcia of the Baltimore Sun for At This Baltimore Restaurant, Coquito, or Puerto Rican eggnog, is a holiday hit with deep cultural roots. Congratulations, Stephanie. Our next category is religion reporting. In Division O, Fern Shen wins first prize for the Baltimore Brew. In Division F, Mike Detmer of the Dorchester Star wins second place, and Mike McClure of the Laurel Star wins first. In Division E, Nick Roth of Cape Gazette wins second prize, and the editorial staff of the Baltimore Jewish Times wins first. In Division D, Alana Haynes of the Towson Times wins second prize, and George P. Matzik Jr. of Catholic Review wins first. In Division C, Katie Jones of Carroll County Times wins first prize. And in Division A, Meredith Newman of the News Journal wins second prize, and Jonathan M. Pitts of the Baltimore Sun wins first. And Best of Show for religion reporting goes to Jonathan M. Pitts of the Baltimore Sun for Muslim Americans shouldn't have to feel and act this way. Congratulations, Jonathan. Our next category is growth and land use reporting. In Division O, the winners are Lisa Nevins-Locke of Maryland Matters in second place, and Fern Shen and Mark Bruder of Baltimore Brew in first place. In Division F, Katie Tabling of Delaware Business Times wins second place, and Carly Milligan of the Baltimore Business Journal wins first. In Division E, Tristan Navera wins second place for the Washington Business Journal, and George Berkheimer wins first prize for the Business Monthly. In Division C, Teresa McMinn of Cumberland Times wins second place, and Brad Dress of the Star Democrat wins first. In Division B, Dana Monroe wins second place for the Capitol, and Jack Hogan of the Frederick News Post places first. And in Division A, Brandon Holbeck of the News Journal wins second prize, and Haley Miller of the Baltimore Sun wins first. And Best of Show for growth and land use reporting goes to Fern Shen and Mark Reuter of the Baltimore Brew for In Baltimore's Beloved Mount Vernon, a historic preservation fiasco. Congratulations, Fern and Mark. Our next category is public notice reporting. In Division F, Lynn Schofer of the Seaford Star wins first prize. In Division E, Chris Flood of Cape Gazette wins first. And Best of Show for public notice reporting goes to Chris Flood of Cape Gazette for security zones set up for President Joe Biden. Congratulations, Chris. Our next category is, or the next section is to announce the winner of our Best Moves category. If you recall from our Wednesday presentation, we had 3 nominees, the Afro, the Baltimore Sun, and the Frederick News Post. The Afro had a Facebook Live event for Relax, True Facts on the Vax in partnership with Johns Hopkins Medicine and Priority Partners. The Baltimore Sun focused its Black History Month coverage with person on the street interviews and essays from over 22 individuals in Baltimore City. And the Frederick News Post expanded and coalesced around their best of the best reader choice rankings and added a new sidekick and new branding, as well as strengthening the program. So let's find out who you chose. This was an audience choice where votes were tallied. We had approximately 350 votes, and the winner is the Afro with Relax, True Facts on the Vax. Congratulations, Afro. And now it is time to announce our news organization of the year. All of the first place winners gained 2 points for their news organization, and all the second place winners gained 1 point for their organization. We then carefully tally up the number of points for each publication in each division and declare a winner by division. So let's see who came out on top. In Division O, the news organization of the year is the Baltimore Brew. Congratulations. For Division F, the news organization of the year is Laurel Star. Congratulations. In Division E, the winner is the Business Monthly for news organization of the year. And in Division D, the news organization of the year is the Catholic Review. And in Division C, the top prize winner is Delaware State News. Congratulations. In Division B, the Frederick News Post wins News Organization of the Year. And finally, for Division A, the news organization of the year is the Baltimore Sun. Congratulations. And congratulations to all our winners and nominees. This is a highly competitive contest with nearly 2,000 entries across 80 categories. So I really congratulate each of our winners and our nominees for their work to sustain and nurture journalism in our region. I look forward to seeing what everyone brings out next year. The awards program is on our website. The full winner list and the gallery of award-winning work is at mddcpress.com. You may also see the archived episodes for these awards broadcasts and the webinars that we presented for our conference on our YouTube channel at MDDC Press. Thank you so much for tuning in, and congratulations again to all of our winners. Done.